You guys, Trisha Paytas announced her baby name this week for her third child, and it went absolutely viral. The name is Aquaman, and we're going to get into what the internet has had to say, what Trisha has had to say in response to all of the online noise, everything. We're breaking it all down. After a week of not posting on social media, fans started to assume that Trisha Paytas had in fact given birth to her third child. And on Monday, she confirmed the news to the public and announced the baby name, which, like I said, was Aquaman. At first, she had given a few clues as to what the name would be. She said that it had to do with water. It was also a movie poster. And Moses said that on tour, she had said on stage at one point that it started with the letter A, and we also knew that it was a boy. So those were the hints that everyone was going off of to kind of give their predictions as to what they thought the name was going to be. And there were a lot of people that took to social media to guess what they thought the name was actually going to be. A lot of influencers, everyone.
And I are going to be predicting what we think her baby name is going to be. Do you want to know what we know so far?
Okay.
She loves a movie name, and it's a boy. But I don't necessarily think that matters in retrospect of the name. She said that it's something to do with water. So I think aquamarine, maybe Ponyo, maybe Jaws.
I was gonna say Jaws. Jaws would be a tough name.
Jaws is, we should name our kid Jaws.
Jaws is a,
Maybe H2O.
that would go crazy. Should ours be like a chemical?
This is so obviously Trisha Paytas' baby name, but no one's guessing it. Y'all are sleeping on this one. This is my formal baby name prediction for Trisha. It's so obvious. Water, movie poster. She said a while ago that she would use her husband's name for her son. And then this is Jesse's prediction.
I didn't know anything about this naming anything, but Francesca started talking about it, and she told me a little bit that she wanted to name her son Elvis, but then she had a daughter and she named her daughter Elvis, and then it was a movie poster and that had to do with water. So I thought, hold on, Blue Hawaii.
Because Trisha likes unique names, everyone was guessing any and everything that they could think of. I was kind of guessing Nemo, Avatar, Aquamarine, Dory, like anything that I could think of that was a movie that had to do with water. I was like, all right, like let me throw it out there because I mean, it's Trisha. Like, the name is going to be unique. But the name ended up being Aquaman, which Trisha explained on the podcast that true Trisha fans would know that this was going to be the name because she was obsessed with Jason Momoa at one point in time, and there were a lot of clues from her past that would lead fans to believe that this is going to be the name of her next child.
Real fans of Trisha Paytas knew that her baby's name was going to be Aquaman, and here's why. For me, it was obvious and easy. I knew from the second that she even named her first and second kid what the third kid's name was going to be. It takes knowing your history, and it takes being chronically online. But for those of you who don't know, let's go back in history for a second. We all know about Trisha's child, Elvis, right? That is a known kid in this franchise. And Elvis's older sister is Malibu. Now, whenever I found out that the first kid's name was Malibu, I did not know where the rest of the names were gonna go until we got to Elvis. For the backstory, in 1972, Elvis was only, and this is the only time Elvis has ever been spotted on any scene of any set ever, because Elvis was not in too many movies or too many shows, but in his last audition, where was he? In Malibu, California. And where was the last photo taken of which set that he auditioned for the main character but didn't get, so he was supposed to be a background actor for? The first live remake of Aquaman's adaptation from the comic books. So for Elvis Presley to be last seen in Malibu on the set of Aquaman, I knew the kid's name was either gonna be Aquaman or something Aquaman related. After that, the movie was put on hold and then canceled, but it was revamped when Jason Momoa auditioned and became the new Aquaman. And in the new Aquaman, what does Aquaman make a joke about his middle name being? Elvis Presley. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm going on about. But yeah, congrats, Trisha.
The internet was absolutely shocked, though, I tell you, when they heard the name, and the whole name announcement went viral with people posting their reactions to the news, videos of them finding out at work, with their friends, with their coworkers.
Oh my God. Okay, it is Aquaman!
Oh my God! That's great.
It is
I knew it!
Trisha Paytas announced her baby name. No! No! Oh my god, this is so exciting. I'm gonna shut. It's Aquaman. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's a lie. No, I swear. You're straight up lying. No, I'm not. I'm not lying.
Brands and companies hopped on the opportunity to market their products and shows and movies off of how viral Trisha's name reveal was. HBO Max posted baby names inspo board and posted the movies in their catalog that are related to Trisha's baby names. We've got Aquaman, Barbie, and Priscilla. And they captioned it at Trisha Paytas, we suggest Peacemaker as the next name. And they also changed their billboard in Hollywood to say Trisha, and it's a photo of Aquaman. Amazon Prime also posted this. How about Arthur? I am Aquaman. All anyone seemed to talk about was this name. And of course, there was a lot of negative reactions to come as well because the name is so different and people just started a theory that this wasn't even the name at all and that maybe she's only sharing these names with the public to protect her children and what is actually on their birth certificate is different. But Trisha actually ended up debunking that rumor when she posted a video Thursday reacting to all of the noise that the name has caused. She said that this was his real name and a name that her and Moses both liked and picked out, and was surprised by some of the backlash received and some of what people had to say about the future bullying and how it's used to name your kid something like this.
I was actually kind of surprised, to be honest, how many people disliked the name and like strongly disliked the name. I knew it was going to be a little polarizing and a little bit different, but never the reaction that came about from it. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who does like it, who supports it, who thinks it's a great name, it's iconic, and they wish they had their name. I name all my babies in a way that I wish I had their name. For all those genuinely concerned, I don't think you have to worry. Now, I don't mean this in a condescending way, but I do feel like it's a little projecting by saying you're setting him up for bullying, because is that what you would do to a human, an adult named Aquaman? My editor Jimmy sent me a really nice text. He's like, I just see all your baby names as so iconic that even if they weren't in entertainment for a living, whatever career decide, their names would still be really fitting. For instance, I think he said Professor Aquaman, President Elvis, like Dr. Malibu, and I just thought that was like the nicest thing ever. And that's how I feel too. Also, some of y'all need to like redirect some of that concern. And again, I mean this so sincerely, because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, naming your babies those names should be considered child ABUSE. And I was like, that's really not it. That's really not it, guys, because there's actual child ABUSE happening, and naming a child something that's cool and fun is not that. Finally, Aquaman can go by whatever he wants to go by. I love Aquaman. I love the full name, hence why we gave him the full name Aquaman. But of course, there's nicknames for everyone. Our Malibu Barbie, we call Malibu. Elvis is Elvis, but she can go by Elle. Malibu can go by Mally. Aquaman can go by Aqua. His middle name is also Moses, so he can go by Moses if he would like to. And if one day he wants to change his name, he's welcome to do that as well. I personally never liked my name Trisha, and I've kept it, and it kind of just fits me now. But we'll see when they get older. As a parent, we make these decisions for our children, and we just think we're trying to set them up for success in life. And I really do think Aquaman is set up for some really great super success, and I really mean that wholeheartedly.
She later went on to say that in the future her kids can go by whatever they want, if they want to go by a nickname, or if Aquaman wants to go by Moses because that's his middle name, she has no problem with that, or even if they want to change their names entirely.
Our boy came along, we're like, oh my gosh, what's a boy name? I didn't have any more. My husband wasn't dreaming of baby names as a kid, so coming to Aquaman was a joint effort. But if you know anything about me, you know I had a little Aquaman phase back in 2017, 2018. I went to a bunch of Comic-Cons to meet Jason Momoa at a time when I felt really low in life. I went from 2017 to 2019 doing all these Comic-Cons, and I had this like weird like drawn to him. Obviously Jason Momoa is like attractive, so you think like, oh, that's why you'd go. But I truly feel like I was drawn to Aquaman specifically because of my baby. I feel like because Aquaman has literally been in me since birth, eggs and everything, I was like, maybe I was going to all these Comic-Cons to feel some sort of dopamine, to feel some sort of rush, because like it was just basically foreshadowing this beautiful baby, my bundle of joy, my Aquaman. Another thing is my husband. I actually reposted the other day. He posted about 3 years ago his water museum. Now, if you don't know, my husband loves water. He identifies as water, and that's very sincerely, very truthfully. He doesn't like to think of himself as like our physical bodies, our physical beings, gender, sexuality, all that stuff. He's very fluid and identifies as water, which I thought was a little cuckoo when I first met him. And then I was like, I started adapting the philosophy as kind of thinking, yes, we're all water beings. So he has a water museum. When I met him, he still has a water museum, and in that water museum there was a Aquaman figurine, and he posted it back in 2020. I reposted it the other day, and I just thought like all of that was like meant to be. He had the little trident, he had the Aquaman, and what's so crazy is his teacher from school, like literally from like 30 years ago, messaged him and was like, just out of the blue, and was like, oh my gosh, you were like the original Aquaman, because I remember you talking about how much you wanted to be a water architect. And I thought that was just like the coolest thing ever. I was like, so we always had that sort of same tie to Aquaman and no other superhero. If you know anything about me, I don't really get into superheroes like that. Now I am, because hi, boy mom. But specifically, Aquaman has always been in my heart.
Aside from the name drama of it all, people have also brought up the whole lore of iconic figures passing at the same time Trisha reveals she's given birth. This started back in September 2022 when Trisha went into labor just hours before the Queen passed away. People joked that her daughter Malibu Barbie was the Queen reborn. The pattern continued in May 2024 when she gave birth to Elvis, as soon after Pope Francis died, everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is the Pope reincarnated, Trisha's done it again. And then of course, fast forward to this month, she gave birth to Aquaman, and then the day that she revealed that she had him and announced the name, it was reported that Ozzy Osbourne had passed, and the theory went viral all over again. And she's talked about the theory being confusing and not the best, and insensitive, but the internet was running with it this week, and it's been a very viral Trisha week, but that is what she has had to say in response to everyone talking about the name. I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.